Hollywood has a new little love. After all the superheroes, the film and series industry is increasingly focusing on adaptations of popular video games. Something that was often regarded as an absolute joke in the 90s has recently been enjoying ever greater success at the box office. This video gives you a great overview of which games will find their way onto the screen next. Back to the apocalypse. The second season of HBO's hit series The Last of Us finally awaits us in April 2025. Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann announced in the run-up that the plot of the new season will be based on the second video game. Not the entire plot, however. Apparently, they wanted to keep sufficient content for a potential third season in reserve. In addition to the two main actors Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, the cast also includes Isabella Merced as Ellie's girlfriend Dina, Beef actor Young Mazzino as Jesse, and Caitlin Dever as the antagonist Abby. Another change compared to the game is Abby's physical appearance. In the game, she's extremely muscular, which was not adopted for the show. There are already discussions about this among fans online. In an interview, Druckmann stated that this was less relevant for him in the series adaptation. The new season will premiere in April, as usual, on HBO. It is one of the biggest phenomena in video game history. Back in 2014, film distributor Warner announced that a Minecraft film was in the works. Now the project is finally coming to fruition. A diverse group of people are pulled through a magical portal into the world of Minecraft and must master the crazy rules of the land in order to somehow get back home. The cast is really impressive. Aquaman star Jason Momoa will take on a leading role. The role of Steve, on the other hand, will be played by Jack Black. We can also look forward to seeing the likes of Barbie actress Kate McKinnon, Wednesday star Emma Myers, Jermaine Clement, and the White Lotus actress Jennifer Coolidge. The trailers are already the subject of heated discussions among fans. While some praise the innovative style, others are skeptical about whether the cinematic adaptation can do justice to the game's special vibe. From April 4th, 2025, everyone will be able to form their own opinion at the movies. The film adaptation of the popular horror game Until Dawn is already exciting many fans. The movie is directed by David F. Sandberg, known for horror hits such as Lights Out and Annabelle 2. As an avowed fan of the game, he brings the perfect expertise to the table. The screenplay was written by Gary Dauberman, who previously contributed to It and The Nun. The original game from 2015 tells the story of 8 friends who experience a night of terror in a remote mountain hut, with a sinister killer, terrifying creatures, and a gloomy mine. However, the plot of the movie will differ from the original. Here, the protagonists are trapped in a time loop. This means they can be killed again and again by new hazards and still try a different path the next time. The cast is predominantly made up of new talent, including Ella Rubin, Michael Cimino, and Maya Mitchell. One exception is Peter Stormare, who has already made an appearance as Dr. Hill in the game. The Until Dawn movie will be released in cinemas on April 25th, 2025. We're going back to Silent Hill. It's been 13 years since we got to see the last installment of the popular horror series Silent Hill: Revelation 3D. In 2025, however, we will at last be treated to another movie called Return to Silent Hill. In terms of story, this time it's about the famous second part of the game series. James, played by Jeremy Irvin, receives a mysterious letter from his deceased wife, which leads him back to the eponymous town. Once there, however, he realizes that nothing is as it seems, as a malevolent force keeps the town under its control. The horror film, once again directed by Christoph Gans, has already been shot and is due to be released in cinemas sometime in 2025. A specific release date is currently unknown. Only a first image of the legendary Pyramid Head has been published so far. Production of the second season of Fallout continues to gain momentum, and a very special location is to be at the heart of the story: New Vegas, of course. The introduction of the dreaded Death Claws is also eagerly awaited. The showrunners explained that they deliberately saved such iconic elements for the second season in order to give them the necessary significance and impact. Another exciting detail: Breaking Bad star Aaron Paul has expressed interest in taking on a role in the series. Macaulay Culkin is also expected to feature in the second season. The remaining cast will stay the same. Ella Purnell returns as Lucy, as do Aaron Moten as Maximus and Walton Goggins as Cooper Howard. Filming for the second season officially started in late 2024, but there is no release date yet. We expect Fallout Season 2 to premiere in 2026 at the earliest. After the tremendous success of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie in 2023, the sequel is now on its way. Filming has been ongoing since October 2024. Although details of the plot are still unknown, some familiar characters are set to return. Rumors also suggest that Mike's brother Garrett will play a pivotal role. His soul is said to be in Balloon Boy, a character who first appeared in the second game and provided plenty of terror. One of the nastiest characters in the franchise is also said to make an appearance. We are, of course, talking about the Puppet. The cast of the movie will also be back in Part 2. These include, for example, Josh Hutcherson as Mike and Matthew Lillard as William Afton. Piper Rubio will once again take on the role of Abby. This time, Mark Fishback, aka Markiplier, will also be joining the cast. The horror film, directed by Emma Tammy, will be released in cinemas on December 5th, 2025. It's time for a good beating. With Mortal Kombat 2, the decisive battle between Earth and Outworld awaits us. While the tournament that gave the film its title did not make it into Part 1, the time has now finally come. In an interview with Deadline, Greg Russo, co-writer of the first film, revealed that he considered the reboot to be a trilogy. The first movie takes place before the tournament, the second movie during it, and Mortal Kombat 3 right after. The sequel brings back many familiar faces, including Louis Tan as Cole Young, Jessica McNamee as Sonya Blade, and Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion. Carl Urban takes on the role of Johnny Cage. New cast members include Tati Gabrielle as Jade, Adeline Rudolph as Katana, and Martin Ford as Shao Kahn. The movie was once again directed by Simon McCoy, who made his directorial debut with Mortal Kombat. The screenwriter is Jeremy Slater, who previously worked on the Disney series Moon Knight with Oscar Isaac. The action hit Mortal Kombat 2 will be released in theaters on October 24, 2025. Great news for Sonic fans! After the big success of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Paramount Pictures is not wasting any time and is following up with Sonic the Hedgehog 4. It is likely that Jeff Fowler will be back sitting in the director's chair. Fans are particularly excited about the appearances of Metal Sonic and Amy Rose, who were already seen in the post-credits scene of Sonic 3. Nevertheless, initial rumors are circulating that Part 4 could be the end of the film series. Whether this will really be the case remains to be seen. After all, the franchise is hugely popular. Even if the main series should come to an end at some point, there are numerous opportunities to keep telling the adventures from the Sonic universe. One example is the Knuckles series on Paramount+. The iconic Hedgehog will be racing across the big screen again in Sonic the Hedgehog 4 on March 19, 2027. With worldwide box office takings of over $1.3 billion, the Super Mario Bros. Movie is one of the most successful animated movies of all time. The sequel is therefore only natural, and a release date has already been set. However, it is still unclear whether the second part will be a direct sequel. In the official announcement by Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto, there was only talk of a new movie in the Super Mario Bros. Universe. It is therefore quite possible that Mario and Luigi will not be at the center of attention this time. Instead, another popular character could step into the spotlight: Yoshi. But who would be a suitable opponent? An obvious candidate would be Wario, Mario's long-standing rival, and Waluigi could also give our heroes a hard time. Production is already in full swing. Just like the first part, the animation studio Illumination is responsible for the realization. The tried and tested team will also keep working together. The screenplay is once again by Matthew Fogel, while Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelinek are back as directors. So, big surprises are unlikely. Instead, the aim is to replicate the success of the first movie. The second Super Mario Bros. Movie will be released in movie theaters on April 3, 2026. Sony is expanding its video game adaptation lineup and is currently working on a Helldivers 2 film. The story is set in a dystopian future in which humanity is unified under the totalitarian government of Super Earth. Players take on the role of Helldivers, elite soldiers who defend the regime and expand its influence in the galaxy. Their missions lead them into dramatic battles against hostile aliens as they conquer planets and secure resources. The dark setting and black humor in particular help make the game so popular. This is no coincidence, as Helldivers 2 clearly takes its inspiration from Paul Verhoeven's cult film Starship Troopers. It is still a mystery who will direct the film adaptation and when it will be released. A film adaptation of the video game series Bioshock has been in the pipeline for ages. The plot of the first part revolves around the main character Jack, who ends up in the underwater city of Rapture. There, genetic modifications lead to the madness and downfall of the population. Netflix is currently working on the adaptation. Screenwriter Michael Green and director Francis Lawrence have already been confirmed. At present, Netflix is happy with the script, but the casting, start of shooting, and even the release date of the Bioshock movie are still unclear. Amazon is still working on a series adaptation of God of War. The scenario of the games takes players back to ancient times, to a world full of deities, titans, and mythical creatures. Like the 2018 game, the series will feature a mature Kratos. His Greek past remains in the background. Instead, we can expect a Scandinavian setting. The series was announced by Amazon in 2022, but the creative team behind the project changed in 2024. Ronald D. Moore is now the project's showrunner. He is best known for sci-fi series such as Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Battlestar Galactica. This change will probably delay production further, although some scripts are already available and have been met with approval from Amazon as well as Sony. Currently, there is no information regarding the cast or the release date of the God of War series. However, rumors about Dwayne Johnson taking on the role of Kratos have already been denied. Samurai fans are sure to get their money's worth with the Ghost of Tsushima film adaptation. The action-packed adventure takes players to the Japanese island of Tsushima in the year 1274, as it is invaded by the Mongols. A group of brave samurai oppose the invaders, but they are mercilessly annihilated. Only one survives the massacre, Jin Sakai, the game's main character. In order to defeat the superior Mongol army, Jin must break the rules of the traditional samurai code and resort to unconventional guerrilla tactics. For the film adaptation of Ghosts of Tsushima, Sony was able to sign up none other than Chad Stahelski, who demonstrated his talent for gripping action in the John Wick film series. In John Wick Chapter 4 in particular, he showed his fascination for Japanese martial arts. Although the film is already in development, it will probably take a while before it hits cinemas. The first step is to find an appropriate cast. However, there is no reason to be sad, as an animated series called Ghosts of Tsushima Legends is due to be released in 2027. The series will be directed by Takanobu Mizuno, who is already known for his involvement in Star Wars Visions: The Duel. Following the huge success of Fallout, Amazon is back with another adaptation. A series based on Mass Effect is officially in the works. As Variety reports, Fast and Furious 9 author Daniel Casey will write the script and serve as executive producer. He will be supported by Kareem Zuraik, who has already worked on several Marvel series. The plot of the Mass Effect series has so far been kept strictly under wraps, but there is speculation that the adaptation could be based on the original trilogy with Commander Shepard. A new chapter followed in 2017 with Mass Effect Andromeda, featuring a different cast and a new setting, which failed to build on the success of the old games. It is not yet known when exactly the series will be released on Amazon Prime. Besides the animated series on Netflix, a Tomb Raider live-action series is also in the making at Amazon. It is being developed by Fleabag creator Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She is being supported by the Marvel's co-author Megan McDonnell. Nothing is yet known about the possible casting of the iconic archaeologist, but it seems that Game of Thrones actress Sophie Turner is in negotiations for the lead role. Lara Croft was last seen on the big screen in 2018, when she was played by Alicia Vikander. Netflix is additionally working on an adaptation of the video game series Horizon. The games are set around 1,000 years in the future, after the fall of human civilization. The survivors fight against machines that are reminiscent of dinosaurs. Originally planned as a series, the project is now to be turned into a movie. Horizon 2074, as the leaked title suggests, will focus on previously unexplored aspects of the game's world. The actor for the role of Aloy is still unknown, as is the possible release date of the Horizon movie. The explosive fun of Just Cause is getting its own film adaptation, for which Jack Ryan author Aaron Rabin will pen the screenplay. The production is backed by an experienced action team, Kelly McCormick and David Leitch, who have already proven their skills in bringing top-class action to the big screen with movies such as Bullet Train, Nobody, and Violent Night. The director is Angel Manuel Soto, who was most recently in charge of Blue Beetle in the former DCEU. The Just Cause series was brought to life by Square Enix and Avalanche Studios in 2006, and thrills players with its open game world, explosive action sequences, and humorous approach. The focus is on Rico Rodriguez, an agent of a fictional U.S. secret organization who is sent on dangerous missions to destabilize dictatorial regimes. With now 4 main games, Rico has established himself as one of the best-known Latin American video game characters. It remains uncertain whether the movie will stick closely to the original or tell its own story. An official release date has not yet been set either. As you can see, numerous hit games are waiting for an adaptation. Even if many projects are still in the midst of development, we will finally be able to experience many well-known games as a movie or series in the next few years. The best way to stay up to date is, of course, through the KinoCheck app, so that you don't miss any of the exciting news about the countless new adaptations. Which adaptation are you most looking forward to? And what have been your personal highlights so far when it comes to video game adaptations? We look forward to reading your opinions in the comments.